Welcome back to the channel. It's a gloomy morning. It's cold, flurrying a little bit outside, so today we'll be back on the trainer per usual. But I figured today, not necessarily like a full day of training or eating. I mean, we've done those recently enough, but I figured I'd kind of take you throughout the day of what I'm doing, but then also the main highlight will be kind of going over what I'm doing to be a privateer in this space. I think most of the content coming from the gravel pros or just racers in general are, this is their full-time job, and I think there are still a lot of people out there like me who are working full-time jobs, but they're also racing full-time, trying to race at the elite level, and it definitely adds a bit of complexity, makes it a lot harder, but I figured why don't I show you guys kind of what I'm doing to manage my time, organize my life both on and off the bike, and kind of show you what I'm doing to try to be as successful as a racer as I can be. So I'm eating my breakfast, get dressed for my ride, and then we'll talk some more. All right, in a familiar spot for most of you guys, in the pain cave, getting ready to ride. So I would say the first thing that's been extremely important for me, or extremely beneficial for me, is preparation. Um, Time management is super important. So preparing as best you can will save you a lot of time in the long run. It's a weekend ride, so have a little bit more flexibility, but either way, all my bottles, all my nutrition, all that kind of stuff is organized the night before. So, like I said, while it was a little bit easier today just because I'm not at work or anything, it's still a matter of, okay, it's time to ride, get dressed, grab bottles from the fridge, and come downstairs. During the wintertime, it is a little bit different. Being indoors, it's definitely easier being indoors. By no means is it more enjoyable, but it's definitely easier. Like today, it's snowing outside, and even if it was warm enough or realistically safe enough, not that it's unsafe, but for me, just you know, mitigating any possible risk, just not really worth it. In my opinion, to ride outside when it's snowing like it is. It's like, yeah, I don't have to wash the bike or anything like that. Like I'll lube or re-wax my chain every couple of rides, but yeah, it's really just a matter of hopping on and hopping off, and that definitely saves a lot of time. But back to the original point, preparation. Prepare as much as you can the night before. Like I said, my iPad's charged the night before. My bottles are filled. My nutrition's sorted. My kit's usually laid out the night before. All I really have to do is press the on button and get going. So first things first, preparation, whether it's training or other stuff like preparing for races, which I'll get on into a little bit later in the video. Preparation is going to be key. Alright, everybody, welcome back. Ride is done. Ended up doing about 4 hours 45 minutes. Did 3 by 30 minutes at tempo, and not gonna lie, that sucked. Had hurt quite a bit. Had efforts yesterday too, so back-to-back efforts this weekend. So I mean, got the workout done, but yeah, definitely could feel the tired legs. But it's early January, and also still 3 by 30 is never an easy workout. So overall, pretty happy. We can go over them a little bit. So I did my warm up. First one did like 319 watts average. Second one, 319 average. Third one, 319 average. Definitely had some increasing heart rate drift. The first one, so on Training Peaks, when I did the workout just to try to make it a little bit more bearable mentally on Zwift, I did just 10 minutes in a row. So on that first one, did 158, 160, 160 in 10-minute intervals. Second one, I did 161, 165, 167, and then the final one, 163, 168, 169. So definitely had some increase in heart rate there, which doesn't surprise me too much. But yeah, like I said, definitely a hard workout, but got it done. So it's 3:15 now. Had a little bit of a late start because was up late watching the Bears beat the Packers. So got a lot of food to eat now. It was overall a 4,400 kilojoule ride. So on the day, it's a lot of food, even when we're in a bit of a deficit to try to lose some of that winter weight. But yeah, I'm gonna get cleaned up, make my food, and I'll catch in with you guys here shortly. Cleaned up, food's made. Since it's late, tried to do a pretty big meal so that I can have not a smaller dinner, or not a small dinner, but maybe just a little bit less. Um, so did some cream of rice, some oatmeal, some berries, some honey, some yogurt, some granola. Um, Definitely a bowl of everything, little gloop, little glop. Yeah, just couldn't really decide exactly what I wanted. So just kind of put it all in the bowl. So to kind of go into a little bit more of my thoughts on how to be a privateer, or just really how to race while having a full-time job. And I know I talked earlier about the preparation side of it, and truthfully, that is kind of going to be the main theme of that. The two things are preparation and organization, and to me, they kind of go hand in hand. So since I'm eating, why not talk a little bit about some of the preparation I do for nutrition? So I'll show you this right here. So this is an Excel sheet that I made. It's got a couple different tabs of different things. I got like kind of my supplement calendar, a summary of just different macros or estimations and stuff, or calorie deficit calculations. But the main thing here is my training block calendar. So what I can do here is I just put in the starting date of the block, and then it automatically populates each date. And then from there, as I know what kind of workout I'm going to be doing, I'll put in just kind of a rough plan of what I'm going to be eating. So like for this, like I have what I'll be having each day for lunch, just so I know kind of what I need to plan for. And then what I can do from there is using my food, or Athlete's Food Coach, Yumbo's app that I've been using for about a year now. I can actually go in and then pre-plan all my meals. You can import stuff for training peaks in here. So like tomorrow, I already have my ride in there, 3 hours endurance. Gives me the estimated calories, macronutrient goals, so then I can go in and then put in what I'm planning on eating for each meal and snacks and stuff, so that I'm hitting all my macronutrient goals and everything like that. And then from there, that also just allows me to actually, plan my meals. And like I said, kind of with the bottles and stuff, preparing those every night. I like to do meal prep. It's not the most glamorous thing in the world. Sometimes I will just come home for lunch from work just so I can have a non-microwave meal. But it's just it saves a bunch of time, obviously. And time is pretty critical when you're time constrained with work and you're trying to still ride. For me, 20 plus hours in a week, plus gym work, like it all adds up. And meal prep is a good way to take advantage of that. And with apps like the food tracking apps, and then with my Excel sheet, planning all that out, it just makes it super easy. And Saturday or Sunday when I'm doing my meal prep, I can, um, I know exactly what I'm going to need for every day, and I can just do that there. And I still leave room for some bit of flexibility in what I'm going to want. Like, I love a late night sweet treat, so I'll try to save some calories for that. And yeah, dinner sometimes I'll keep maybe a little bit more flexible, but the general sense is knowing, what I'm going to be eating every day throughout the week, prepping for that. And yeah, once again, comes down to preparation. It's the biggest thing when you're riding a lot and working a lot and have other life commitments. Taking the 20, 30, 45 minutes a week to really plan out your week will save you so much time at the end. So that's really the gist of what I'll get into in terms of the preparation organization for the nutrition side of it. And I mean, I talked earlier the preparation in terms of the training side of it. So I'm going to eat my food now before it gets cold, and then once I'm done, I'll chill out a bit and I'll get into the final parts of what I think you need to master, and that's going to be your actual pre-race preparation and organization. So I'm going to eat this, catch back in with you guys in a few.
All right, so audio may be a little bit weird because I'm on my computer, my gaming headset. But let's kind of go over how I organize all my stuff to try to make it easier on my life. So this is my Google Drive. I have in this folder everything associated with my 2026 program. Got a coaching subfolder that I have like some of my athletes' training plans in. Kit design ideas for my new kit with Nopinz, partnerships, race plans, and social media, and then just some other things. So we'll start with this. This is my just like overall uh, plan. This kind of just gives like a rough to-do list of what I have to do, maintenance schedule on the bikes, race schedule, team kit order, shopping list, like anything I may need um, in the future from a larger scale, just all in one place. Questionnaire stuff that was for coaching, bike build checklist that'll be for my new race bikes for this year. Let's do race plans. That's kind of the most important thing, honestly, is the race plans. That's probably the biggest thing. So this is just a template that I use. So it's very similar to just the regular team organization. Right here, you have a to-do list, due date, and then you can choose the status, completed, incomplete, late. Next tab would be lodging and travel. So you can input a full roster of who's all coming, what their position is, whether they're racing or crew, housing type, address, check-in information, and then travel plans for everybody that's coming, whether they're going car, plane, and then their travel dates. Equipment packing list, this one's empty. I can pull up, this was my one from last year's Gravel Worlds. So I just need here, had my tools, spare parts that I wanted to bring, any equipment, and then here all my personal stuff. So cycling related, whether it's kit or my computers, lights, headphones, all that stuff, and then personal like off bike stuff like clothing, toiletries, Normatex, like massage gun, all that stuff. We'll go back to the template that I had. Nutrition plan. While I do use the Athlete's Food Coach app to organize all my nutrition, sometimes it is nice for races like Unbound where you're going to be segmented to just kind of give a rough estimate of what you're going to be doing each segment. So on here, I haven't updated this with my new sponsor yet with Carbs Fuel. Well, actually, I do have. a carbs fuel. But you can select what type of fueling you want, how many is it going to be, gives you carb total, gives you carb actual for the whole. If you put in segment times and distances, it'll give you a goal to meet, which is super nice. Just like I said, if you're trying to just organize stuff from a segment standpoint, it makes it a lot easier. Race strategy, it's not really like strategy, but the things I have to do pre-travel, things I have to do pre-race at like the hotel or the Airbnb, tire setup choices, whether it's in the dry or in the mud, any extra bike setup notes like extra bags, just anything non-traditional, hydration pack plan, and then once again, if it's segmented like an Unbound where maybe I'm running the pack for the second and third or the first and second, can do it like that, and then bottle size. That's wrong. I need to fix that. But if I want to run like a 550, 750, 950, and then which segments I'm running those in, and then tools and spares I don't want to carry. So whether that's in my jersey pocket or my saddlebag or wherever that may be, it's all right here. Can choose where I'm going to put it, or if I don't need it at all, how many I'm going to have. And then last thing, shopping list. So if I need any parts, tools, equipment, put that right here. Nutrition ahead of the race, and then groceries. And then for the groceries, I have pre-travel or buy at race. So if it's something that I have a large quantity of, like we'll say protein powder, I'm not buying that at a race. I'll bring it. But something like maybe a box of pasta, like I'll just buy at the grocery store there. Fresh produce, I'll buy at the store there. So yeah, those are the two documents that I use to prepare for race specific stuff. Like I said, I really like having these because it keeps me truly organized, lowers anxiety because I know I'm not missing anything. I'm able to go through these full checklists and to-do list, and I know I've covered everything I need to do before I leave. Peace of mind, and then also once you're getting to the race, you're ready to go, and all you have to focus on is pedaling hard. So just like my nutrition guide, if any of you want any of these templates, just throw it in the comments, let me know, and I can send you guys some copies.
And that's where we'll finish off. I wanted to be a little bit more in-depth with the just screen recording of the document. It's not a big document, but it's also not as cut and dry as like my nutrition plan one. There's a little bit more that I wanted to talk about, so that's why I was just like, I'll just do the screen recording. If anyone wants that, just let me know and I can share it. You guys can adapt it to your own needs. I do think a lot of this is trial error, kind of seeing what works best for you. Everyone's going to be different. Like how I like to run my program is going to be different than how you might want to, or how another pro might want to. So it just kind of comes down to what works best for you. But at the end of the day, the big thing is just being able to be prepared, being able to be organized. That's the recipe for success, not just on the bike, but also off the bike. Yes, this will help you improve your training, maybe increase training volume, training effectiveness, ability to recover, like all that stuff. Yes, of course, but also importantly, it allows you to have more time off the bike too. Like if you do want to be training these heavy hours, it allows you to be more present because you're not worried about different things with training. You have more time because you've been so effective with your cycling specific stuff or your training specific stuff that you're now able to actually enjoy your personal life or be able to be more effective with your work life. Like this stuff isn't just to improve on the bike, it's also to improve your life off the bike. So it's a full circle thing. It helps in every facet of your life, and this has been a 5-6 year trial error test, figuring out what I like, what works best for me with my life schedule and what I have going on. And yeah, it's not going to be an overnight thing for everybody, but I do think if you can implement small things into your daily life, and small changes will create big ones. And yeah, you too can build a program that works for you, and improve your training, improve your abilities on the bike, but then also, yeah, just improve your life and your overall organization off the bike. So that's where I'll leave it off on this one. Not to 40 minutes videos that they've been the last couple. So hopefully, you guys are able to make it through this, learn something, and just overall enjoyed it. So from here, I think my next video will probably be preparing for Run Disney. We'll leave in 3 weeks. So we'll do a little bit of a video of just kind of how I prepare for that, which will kind of build off of this video, but maybe a little bit more non-traditional, just because it's running, not cycling. So obviously don't have to bring the same amount of equipment I do, but yeah, still I think a good video, informative video for you guys on kind of how I prepare for a race weekend, even if it's not on a bike. So appreciate everyone for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Throw a comment in if you want any of the documents that I've shown. I can give just straight guide or non-specific guides or files to you guys. So if it's something you're interested in, throw a comment and I can get that off to you. But yeah, as always, appreciate everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.